to Timber is Dead, everyone. My name is Whitney, and welcome to another CAS Monday. Today, we are creating my classic mom character, and she is the daughter of my grandma from last week. So if you haven't seen those videos, please check them out. I'll leave them linked in the description below as well as at the end of this video. But first off, I needed to create her father. He is not alive in this storyline, and so I'm creating him, and then I do go in and cheat his death later on. At this point, the Snowy Escape pack has not come out, and so I didn't have the memory system or the sentiments from that. But I do have Slice of Life, and so I really wanted. If you see my previous videos, I did it a couple times there as well, but I wanted that memory system for these guys. And so first I was creating her, and I forgot to click on Janine, my grandma sim, and so I had to go back in and get the daughter that had both of their genetics in there. And so right now we have Jessica Rutherford, and for her, she wants to be a super parent. She is neat, she's family oriented, and she is also a perfectionist. And for her, she really idolized her mom growing up. She loved watching her mom, you know, be a housewife and take care of her dad and take care of her. She absolutely loved that, and that's what she wanted for her life, and that's exactly what she got. But it's kind of ironic because her mom's now really struggling with her identity because she put so much energy and focus on being a wife and a mother that now that her husband has passed on and her daughter's grown with grown children of her own, she really doesn't know who she is as just a woman. And so she's really struggling to find herself now. And so she's probably going to really encourage her daughter to, find something outside of being a wife and a mother, but her daughter's not necessarily going to understand that. And so I really wanted to my inspiration for this, I don't know if any of you watched the show Desperate Housewives way back in the day, but I didn't really watch it, but my mom loved that show, and so I watched it with her quite often. And there's the one character, Bree, and that was kind of my inspiration for this character. Very, she wants to be perfect, so she wants to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, be perfectly presentable at all times. And so that's kind of what I was going for, a very prim and proper kind of look for this sim, and very neat and put together, like not a hair out of place. She would always have her makeup perfectly done. You could never catch her like in frumpy clothing or anything like that. Just very well put together. And I know I've done a couple sims like that, but just a little bit different. And I actually went in and played these guys a little bit, and I really liked it because Jessica here is actually friends with Betty Jo, and they're both housewives just in different ways. Betty Jo is a farmer's wife, and so she has no problem being kind of frumpy and dirty, things like that. But she also really takes care of her husband, cooks, bakes. She has like a little garden that she does. So it's just kind of different. You have your farmer's wife and then your suburban housewife is what I'm going for here. But they really have bonded and become friends. And I actually was able to do that because of the club system, which I hadn't used a whole lot, like not in my Let's Plays or anything like that. I'm really enjoying it now because I'm able to create these relationships with specific sims that I want without having to go in and really play them or try to cheat them. I don't know if there's a way to cheat it in the base game itself, but I do have MC Command Center as well, and I know you can cheat relationship levels in that. I always really struggle with it though. I can never remember how, and then I'm not able to find the sims I want to cheat, or it wants me to make it brother, sister, wife, mother, things like that, instead of just being able to set their friendship bar. And I know there is a way to cheat that, but I struggle with it and can't figure it out. So I was really enjoying the clubs and being able to put certain sets of Sims together in a club, and then they automatically have that relationship. And so for her mom has the baking club, and so she's a part of that. And then of course Betty Joe is a part of that as well. And I also did my rainbow Sims. I can't remember if I did the mom and the daughter or just the mom, but I was able to put them in that club as well. So they do have a little bit of a relationship with some other Sims there, which I think is great. And I'm really enjoying the club aspect. I was also able to do my spellcaster Sims. I did when I was doing my fire element. I knew I wanted them to have like a little coven and host, their coven at their place, and so I was able to do that through the clubs. And so I put a bunch of my spellcasters in that club. I think I did vampires for another, because my earth element, they were the same way. They would host gatherings for other vampires, and so I was able to do that through the clubs, and they already have that interaction, which is nice, instead of like trying to remember, okay, I want this sim and this sim, to to meet and be friends, and having to play through that. I can put them in a club based on their similar interests, and they already have that relationship. So anyway, kind of got off on a tangent there, but I really, really like that aspect of the clubs. And hopefully going forward I'll play the clubs a little bit more. I don't know that I will, but it's there if I decide to. And her daughter is actually, I wanted, the classic high school popular girl, and so her daughter's actually cheer captain, so I made a cheer club. And Betty Joe's daughter, Billy Joe, is part of that club as well, and so they're friends as well. And then of course Indigo and Violet from my rainbow build are also part of that. I don't see Indigo really being a cheerleader, but she is really social and outgoing. So she's kind of your alternative cheerleader, I guess. But I already have those relationships built, which is really nice for my gameplay. So I'm really excited going forward. And I think come the new year, I am going to do an update on all the households I've created so far in this save file. So I'm going to take you guys in and just show you, their careers and their skills and their friendships, things like that I've already created. Especially now with the new pack, it's going to be nice because you have that lifestyle component to it, and then the sentiments as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these relationships kind of develop with the new options that there are in the game. So I'm really excited. And at this point when I'm recording this, the new pack hasn't come out yet, but by the time you're seeing this, the new pack will have just come out. And so you guys can look forward to a little bit of videos on that as well. I think I'm definitely probably going to try to do a little bit of a let's play and upload that, so you guys can kind of check it out with me. But you can see I'm now on Jessica's party look, and for her party look, still very put together, but a little bit different than her other outfits. I almost went with a cardigan like for her everyday wear, but I really like this outfit, and I still think it looks very polished and put together, especially with the heels, but it is a little bit more fun. And so she has a little bit of a fun side to her, and I really like this outfit, and so I really wanted to use it. And I'm pretty sure I've used this dress on a different sim as well, but I really like it, so it works either way. And then I just went with a smoky eye for her makeup because she wouldn't go full green on the makeup. That's a little bit too alternative for her. But and then for her bathing suit, I actually end up changing it as I'm going through the outfits later on. I give her a one piece, and I give her, it's red. It's just the basic, this one. And I went with red, but when I was going back through it, I really didn't like that for her. So I ended up going with black instead. And then this outfit I thought was really cute, and I almost kept it, but the patterns were a bit much. And I just don't see her wearing that much of a pattern. I see her more solid colors for sure. And so I ended up not using that dress, but I really did like it and I thought it worked well style wise for her. But for her hot weather wear, I ended up going with this dress. Well, it's like a top skirt combo, but it works. I figured, she might break out the skirt in the hot weather and still, a collared shirt buttoned up. Um, since she's not wearing her cardigans in the summertime, that would be something she might gravitate to as well. And of course, I had to give her her makeup and her jewelry. And those pearl earrings, you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but I gave them to her in a lot of her outfits. I think those are something her husband might have gifted to her. And so she really treasures them. Just like her mom, her mom has a few items of jewelry that she really treasures. And her daughter's the same way. And so she wears those pearl earrings quite often. And then she always has her wedding ring on as well. And then for her cold weather look, I went again very clean. I love this jacket. I tend to use it a lot though. And so I don't know that I've used it a lot in the save file, but in my other save files I have definitely used it a lot. But I really like it and it's very clean and put together. It's a little bit more form-fitting, not as bulky as some of the other jackets. So I really do like it for my more prim and proper Sims that want to be very put together. And so that is Jessica, and I do change her last name once I make her husband. And so we have Michael Jones as her husband, and like I said, they would have met in college, and he is a businessman. And I debated a little bit on his aspiration, but I went with fabulously wealthy, and then I gave him the career-oriented trait and the ambitious trait. And I debated, I was going to give him the snob trait as well, but even though he's a really hard worker, he works hard because he wants to support his family. And so I ended up going with family oriented for him as well. So even though he does devote a lot of time to his work and does sacrifice his family a little bit for that as well, I still think he would also make his family a priority as well. And so his family would understand that he needs to sacrifice some time, to give them the lifestyle that they're used to, but he does make an effort, to be there for the kids, and when he is home, he is very present with them. So he's kind of a good balance. He's definitely a workaholic and takes a lot of pride in his work, but he does prioritize his family as well. And so I think he has a really good balance there. And I really liked him. I struggled a little bit to get like the right hair and beard with him because I knew I wanted just kind of a clean look, but everything, he was just looking so young, and I didn't want him to look that young. And so I really struggled to find like a hair and facial hair as well that I liked for him. And it was a struggle, but I do like what I came up with, especially seeing him in game and seeing, what he looks like in the house and with his family. And I think the facial hair really makes all the difference. And I know a lot of people, kind of joke that there's really not a difference between the young adult and the adult sim. And I agree. And I really wish for the adult sims, and I've complained about this for the elder sims too, that the wrinkles are just too much, so you either have to have too much wrinkles or not enough. But I wish there really was a scale of wrinkles, and so for your adult sim to kind of change their look from when they were a young adult sim, maybe a few wrinkles around the eyes, things like that. And then, for your elder sims also have more wrinkle options as well. And people age at a different rate as well. I mean, when I say that, physically they age at a different rate as well. And so it just really, really depends on the person. But I would have liked to give him a few wrinkles around the eyes. I think that would have really helped with his appearance and making him look older. And so for him, I wanted to kind of go businessy, but not in the same way that I did for my golden boy Sims dad. And so I wanted businessy, but not like corporate, if that makes sense. He definitely does well. So I went with for his everyday outfit with the button up shirt and tie and the suspenders with the slacks. I thought that was a nice compromise, not a full on suit. He'd probably definitely wear a jacket with that, but he takes it off whenever he thinks he can get away with it. And then for his formal look, I didn't go full on like tuxedo or anything like that either. But he does wear a lot of collared shirts and ties and things like that. And then for his party look, again, just another collared shirt but no tie. A little bit opened on the buttons there. I thought that was a nice touch. Basic swimwear, nothing too over the top. I didn't want a lot of pattern. Again, don't think he would go for a lot of pattern. And then for his hot weather wear, I like the polo shirt and just some basic shorts. Very kind of similar to my Golden Boy Sims dad in that department, but I really, really liked it. And then for his cold weather look, again, another button up shirt with just a jacket over the top. And I went with this one. I like the jacket a little bit better than the other one. And so that is Michael Jones, and he is my classic mom's husband. And so maybe the dad, I'm kind of creating, my focus is on the mom, but really the whole family. And so they're, the suburban house family, the classic family, I guess. But my focus was mainly on the mom. She was who I wanted to create, and then of course her family came along with that. And so now we are creating their son. He is a young adult. Figured recently graduated, maybe a year out of high school. And for him, his parents definitely would have wanted him to go to college, but he had other plans. He wants to be a writer. And so he's a bookworm, he's creative, and I also made him a little childish. Figured he would have a really, really good imagination. He would definitely probably gravitate to like the sci-fi or fantasy genre of writing, and he really enjoys that. And so being childish kind of is helpful to him in that aspect. And for him, I debated how I wanted his family to react to him, but I think they're very loving. Like, yes, they kind of put on this front of being perfect and such, but they are very loving. And so unlike the Golden Boy's family, his younger brother is kind of not understood and shunned a little bit for being creative and different, where Joshua's family here really embraces his difference and really is supportive of him. And so I'm debating right now. He still lives in their house, but I do plan on moving him into an apartment in San Myshuno in the artist district. And so that's my plan at some point. But right now, he still lives at home with his mom. But like I said, even when the kids move out, they come back to mom's house. Like, they love their mom, and so holidays and things like that, they would be bringing their mom. And that's really what inspired me, is the holidays, to create these families. Because when I think of holidays, that's what I think of. I think of my grandma. I think of not just my grandma, my grandpa too. But, I think, especially in my family, we're very female oriented in my family, and so I really focus on my mom and my grandma and such when I think of holidays and comfort and just a loving home. And both of these guys, Janine and Jessica, really focus on being the best mom and housewife and such, and so they make the best holidays they can and really kind of go all out for the holidays. And so I can see the kids, definitely gravitating back home for the holidays. Once they do get a significant other and such, they're gonna bring them right along too. And they really want that comfort of home whenever they can get it. And so the daughter, I went ahead and made her a teen, but she's an older teen. And so I do need to go in and actually fix her age on the sliding scale, but she is an older teen. And like I said, she's kind of your classic all-American girl. So she's captain of the cheerleading team. She's really into sports, like very athletic. And so she probably plays like a little bit of volleyball, maybe girls basketball, things like that. Very outgoing, very self-assured, and she wants to be the leader of the pack. And so, like I said, I did create a cheerleading club for her, and she's the leader of that club. So she would be like head cheerleader. Gets good grades, like still very smart. It's not just all about, being athletic and such. She's also very smart and gets good grades. Like she's kind of the all around good girl. Doesn't really get into trouble, things like that. And so I really liked her as well. I thought she was a lot of fun to create. And she's kind of gonna be a combination. Like, she's probably gonna follow in her mom and grandma's footsteps, but she's also very independent and self assured. And so she's not necessarily gonna just stick to being a housewife and a mother. Like, she's definitely gonna explore her interests outside of that. And she's probably gonna work and things like that. I think I can see Sarah here being able, to balance both. Some women, I'm definitely one of them. I'm not probably, I definitely am. I really have to focus on one thing. I'm not good at balancing multiple things. So for me, I focus either on, the house or work. It was really, when I first got married, it was such a struggle to find that balance for me, because I had a hard time putting my energy into two separate places. Where for somebody like Sarah, she's going to be able to have it all. She's going to be able to work and be a mom and be a wife and take care of what she needs to all the way around. And so I look forward to seeing her kind of age up and grow up a little bit. But for her, I wanted kind of more of a preppy but stylish look. Like, not super preppy. Like, she definitely doesn't mind showing a little bit of skin and things like that, but she's not too over the top with it either, but she's not super conservative as well. So she's kind of a balance, like I said. She balances her different aspects very, very well. And so this is her formal look, which I really liked. And then I did her hair a little bit different. I don't see her wearing a ponytail for a formal event. And then of course I like the purple, and she has the purple earrings and then light purple eyeshadow. Just pretty basic as far as her formal look goes, but I really like it. And then for her athletic wear, I tried to give her an outfit that screamed cheerleader to me. And I always forget about this tennis skirt, so I was glad I was able to come across it. And so I did the tennis skirt, and then I debated between the long sleeve crop top one, or the crop top with the long sleeve underneath. But I didn't like how colorful the numbers were on the back. That would have been perfect if there was more of a solid colored number. And so I ended up going with the sports bra with just the little jacket vest thing over to the top. And then I would try to go, like, I figured maybe school colors would be like red and black or something like along those lines. And so I went with red and black for the color scheme there as well. And then, kind of cutesy for her bedtime look. I can't remember. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I kept that top, which I didn't, and I ended up just going with the tank top and some shorts, which I think work very well. And then for her party look, I went a little bit more. I debated a little bit on her party look, whether I wanted to go a little bit more revealing in that instance, but I don't think she would. I think she would still kind of balance that very well. And so I know I used that skirt right here, and I was going to go with this top, but it didn't quite match the boots I wanted to go with, because I wanted to use these boots. And this is actually very indigo-like. And one of her good friends is Indigo. When I was doing the Let's Play, Indigo came over and hung out for a little while. And so I could see maybe she borrowed those boots from Indigo or something like that. Maybe the top two, she was having trouble. But you can see the top's a little bit more conservative, but it does have like an open back and things like that. Just little touches of skin here and there, which I like. I like that for her, but not too over the top as far as being revealing or anything like that. Um, and then I decided, I remember I wanted to use this top for her originally, so I ended up going back and changing her sleepwear, because I forgot that when I was kind of doing her mom and such, I wanted to use that top for her specifically. But of course, by the time I got to her, I forgot all about that, and so I ended up going back and changing that when I came across that top again, because I remembered that I wanted to use that. And then for her hot weather, I do this top and just some shorts. Again, nothing too revealing, but at the same time, shows a little bit of skin and definitely a little bit enticing. And then of course the shoes are always the hardest part for me, I think, trying to get the right color and things like that. Especially with this top, because it was kind of in between like a purpley red color, so it was kind of hard. Pink, kind of more of a magenta, but I had a hard time finding shoes that went with that. And then of course her makeup, just again very basic, nothing too over the top. And then of course her cold weather, I wanted to go sporty with her cold weather look as well, so I ended up going with this top, but then I gave her boots, and so I didn't go full on sporty, but I think it's really cute and works for her kind of whole aesthetic that she has going for her. And then I went a little heavier on the blush for a cold weather look, since it's cold, definitely brings out the rosiness in your cheeks. And I debated about a hat. I just didn't like. I always want to put a hat on my Sims, but I never like how they look. And I don't like hats in real life, so I think I'm just a hat hater. But that is Sarah. And I'm just going to run through here and show you guys their outfits one more time. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you there. There's some screenshots at the end. Kind of give you a sneak peek into their build as well. So I hope you'll stick around for that. And yeah, remember, if you haven't already, to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. And we will see you guys on Friday for their build. Have a good week, guys. Bye.